Welcome to the Success Sensei podcast for anyone interested in success, happiness, and balance. We'll teach you how to be a black belt at life. And now, your host, former professional fighter, multiple world champion, entrepreneur, and investor, Robert Devane.
Bowing in. This is Roundhouse Rob, the Success Sensei, helping you to win at life one kick and punch at a time. Today's episode, now more so than ever, and it's episode 231. Welcome to the main event.
It's the Success Sensei podcast main event.
Now more so than ever. Now more so than ever what? Well, now more so than ever, it's very important to look after yourself. So many people had a bad 2020. Well, everybody really. And so many people were happy to end 2020. Well, everybody. And I guess the start of 2021 has really challenged a lot of people, because I think the majority of people thought they were ending a calendar year and starting afresh with a better, new, positive calendar year. But you know what? It hasn't started off that great. It's actually started off worse than 2020. At least when we started 2020, we had a couple of months that were pretty good, that were normal, that there was great growth, that everybody was positive before the actual news of the pandemic really hit us, before the virus got, completely out of control. Before it was on the majority of our radar, we were able to start 2020. We haven't had that opportunity in 2021. I don't know about your country. I certainly would love to hear from you. Let me know. But in this country, we started the year off at the highest level lockdown. So we haven't even had the freedom to start the year. It's such a weird feeling of limbo. It feels like it's still kind of an extended Christmas. Your body biologically, you want to get started, you want to eat right, you want to train right, you want to do all these things, but the weather is gank, it's not great at all, and the news is not great, and you're in lockdown and you can't go anywhere, and it's like your biology is being affected as well as your mental health and your overall physicality. So now more so than ever, it is highly important that you look after yourself. Now, the majority of people think that looking after yourself is a very selfish pursuit, and it's not. And we don't look after ourselves to the detriment of our own mental and physical health. You owe it to yourself, and you owe it to everybody around you to try to have positive and healthy physical body as well as mental health. So to be happy and confident, you owe it to those around you. If you're not happy and confident, that if you're very unhappy, you're very underconfident, and you're full of frustration, then you're not going to be as positive to other people around you. It makes sense. So you have to look after yourself. So we think it's a selfish pursuit. It's actually not. It's a very selfless pursuit to make sure that you're in a good frame of mind to be able to help those around you. So it's not a selfish pursuit. Obviously, I'm not talking about exclusively looking after yourself and not considering other people, but I'm talking about looking after yourself to the point where you're more useful and more helpful to others. If you are not suffering from stress, are suffering from anxiety, are suffering from depression, you'll be able to be there for others and to have better relationships. So you do need to look after yourself. Now, everybody I have come in contact with has been affected by COVID-19 or the pandemic, and on a mental health level. Everybody, whether they have admitted it or not, has shown all the signs of having stress, anxiety, or depression. Obviously in varying degrees, but there's nobody I have met who hasn't been affected. The most positive people and the ones who would love to project that they haven't suffered any of those more than likely have. And are fronting and pretending that they haven't, because everybody has been affected. There's no way not to be affected. There's no way that you haven't second guessed yourself, that you haven't simply not knowing what you should be doing on a daily, if not an hourly basis, and feeling guilty for not doing constructive things, but feeling tired at the same time. Everybody has experienced this roller coaster of emotions. So, how do you look after yourself? It's a simple enough question, but it's one that people struggle with, so we'll try to keep the answer simple as well. This is the time of year traditionally that you would be looking at your goals, that you'd be deciding what you want to do. Now, a lot of people have completely given up on that because they're thinking, what's the point? There's no point in doing goals if I'm in lockdown, if I'm not in control of my own being, if my freedoms are taken away. But giving up is definitely not the option if you want to have a sound mind and a sound body. Know what you really want. Know what is really important to you. And yes, that means looking at your goals. Maybe looking at your standard goals or your typical goals or the goals that you would have normally done. Maybe looking at them differently. But even with everything that's going on, in fact, I would say that with everything going on, it should make it even easier to actually really narrow it down to what it is that you really want and what it is that is really important to you. I would say that the COVID and the pandemic and the lockdowns have made a lot of your goals seem futile, maybe even juvenile, maybe unnecessary. Maybe they've helped you clarify your vision. Maybe you've thrown them away, and maybe it's helped you really to pinpoint what's important. So use the time to really know what you really want and to figure out what's important to you. Next, know what you can do to get what you want, even if it's only small steps. Do not give up on the idea that you still can control, even if it's only small elements of your life, to work towards what it is that you want. Even if it's only in steps of millimeters, you're still moving forward. So know what you can do. Figure out what you can do and break it down into steps that your subconscious as well as your conscious will actually believe you can achieve. Practice gratitude. So with everything that's going on around us, with all the negativity, it is very, very important to remind yourself of what you are grateful for, what you are thankful for. If you are a believer, you can attribute the gratitude and the thankfulness to a higher being, or just to Mother Nature in general, or just to luck in your own circumstance. That's totally up to you, but absolutely go through in your mind what it is you're grateful for and thankful for on a daily basis, just to remind you why you're continuing to struggle and that you really aren't at ground zero or below as you might convince yourself you are on an hourly basis. So I'm sure everybody, if you have the right frame of mind, have things to be thankful for, and hopefully you have many things to be thankful for. So remind yourself of that on a daily basis to combat the dark thoughts and the negativity. Okay, attempt to find something positive to focus on throughout the pandemic. There's so many negative stories. Focus on something positive. Actually go out of your way. It's a homework. It's an exercise. Find positive stories. Find positive things. Find things that bring you happiness. And give a few minutes of your day to those. And yes, you have to be active. You actually have to go out and seek it until your subconscious gets so used to the exercise that you will do it automatically. But attempt to find something positive to focus on throughout the pandemic. Okay, the next one is a big one. So I'll say it fast. Sleep right, eat right, train right, save right, invest right. Easy peasy. Each one of those we could do a whole episode on. You already know the answers to eating right, to sleeping right, to training right, exercising right, to saving right, and to investing right. You know it, but this is just a reminder. I know that was a lot in one sentence, but you know what the right thing is to do. So make sure you go back to that again. We all have to be reminded. It's like a professional fighter who comes back training and their coach is saying to them, hands up. Do you think the professional fighter doesn't know to keep his hands up or her hands up? Of course they do. But, everybody needs a reminder, and everybody forgets from time to time, gets fatigued, gets, on focus and drops their guard. So you have to be reminded. So don't be shocked when the best fighters in the world are reminded by their coach to keep your hands up. So that's what that one is. Sleep right, eat right, train right, save right, invest right. Figure all those out for yourself and what that means to you. Next, self-censor news, media and social media. You don't just have to passively let all the negative news enter your brain. Self-censor. So, if something is putting you in bad humour, or too much of the news is putting you in bad humour, make sure you access something that you're going to enjoy. You don't have to constantly listen to the constant stream of negativity. Which brings us on to the next one. Enjoy learning. Now, what is learning? Learning is reading a book, listening to a book, reading a magazine, and watching a documentary, watching something of an educational nature, watching an educational movie. If you can attribute it to your education and to your learning, you can enjoy learning. It doesn't have to just be this, hard academia that you never enjoyed in a subject and in a way that you don't enjoy. It can absolutely be in any kind of a medium that you do enjoy. So enjoy learning and focus on something that is going to help you gain, especially during times of lockdowns. Next one, take time out to meditate. Or if you're not into that, to play with a pet. Or if you're not into that, to go for a walk and just to generally breathe. So do take time out on a daily basis to just be within yourself. Now, the last one. Remember, everyone is struggling, whether they admit it or not. Help anyone that you can. It's great for them. It will make you feel good as well. So help as many as you can help. And help can simply mean a chat that includes hope. Now, speaking of hope, COVID, Donald Trump and all the goings on at the moment, Brexit, an impending recession that people are talking about. All of these are highly negative things, anxiety-inducing subjects, but all bring opportunity if you can find it, if you can just see it. Opportunity that can benefit a great many people, not just opportunity for yourself. At the end of the day, if you can solve a problem that affects a lot of people, not only are you helping yourself, but you're helping a lot of people as well. So opportunity that can benefit a great many people who may not have the mindset themselves to see that opportunity. Stay positive, stay focused, stay safe, and look after yourself and your loved ones and anyone else you can possibly squeeze in. Thank you for listening. I'm Roundhouse Rob, the Success Sensei. Life is a fight you can enjoy and win. Bowing out.
This has been the Success Sensei, fighting the winning fight. So add us, subscribe, like, and comment. Keep those hands up and keep moving forward.